questions. Went to Yewa to make reports. That was when they now realized it is due time for them to tell us that the man is with the state.
All right.
If not for that is it. Nobody would have known where that man is. Maybe they pay as they usually do to assassinate people that they take away from.
Okay. Now, I'm happy you called him, by the way, DK, because you are the youth leader in that community. Now, going forward, because we want peace, and that is what we want in River State. We want peace. Wait. Going forward, what do you think should be done? Because it looks as if there are two groups who are fighting for this too. How do we resolve the grievances?
That is what we are all clamoring for.
All right.
We have been on air several times calling on the federal government, the relevant security agencies, the leaders of our community, our kingdom, as I'm talking to you, the men in question do not honor the invitation of that particular in this kingdom.
All right.
And imagine when a leader, somebody is trying to impose himself to the entire community, and the entire community is rejecting you, which you must pass the normal, traditional, and culture of Alakaya to install any paramount ruler. His father was the last paramount ruler. After he's dead, this man is forcing himself to be the paramount ruler,
all right,
which has never.
So, as the whole Alakaya community, I mean, have they written a petition against his self-imposed coronation? Have the people of, I mean, every house, every family in Alakaya, penning their signature to a document saying, to a petition saying, we do not want, what's his name again? We do not want Ogbonna, what did you call him?
That is what I'm telling you. Why
right.
I said the police are the cause of all the insecurity happening in Alakaya. They have done written several petitions, both on air, both to the state CID, Choba police station, area command. But what they do, as I'm talking to you now, what they do is that because these people have the upper connection to them, these people have been with them before, they know where they will collect a large sum of money and act based on their own information. As I'm talking to you as a youth leader, I don't stay in my community with my eyes closed. My life is at risk. Most of the youth executives and members of Alakaya.
All right.
Because whenever you oppose such a devious act, all they will do is to misinform the police that you're a kidnapper, you're an armed robber, you are the one setting crisis in the community,
right.
and the police will be chasing you all over.
All right. Thank you very much, DK, for calling in. Thank you very much for that insight. Now, if a youth leader in that community is not safe, what would you say about students? What would you say about people who have their businesses but are not from Alakaya community? What would you say about people who are, that's a major route, within a River State. So what would you say about people who apply that road? Are they safe? Are they good doing businesses in that place? Are the students okay? Is that a good, conducive environment for them to live in? These are the issues, and this is why we should look at solutions for this issue. Paramount rulership in the Alakaya community seems to be the problem here. Seems to be the reason for chaos. Seems to be the conundrum. Seems to be the reason why. Why I say that probably, if not tackled, doom might just be locking behind. So yeah, call in and let's talk. Let's talk for development right about now. 95.1 FM. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
I'm calling from Ahoda.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name is Canada.
Your name is. Oh, really? All right, go ahead.
I want to speak on the issue concerning that I have. You see, to me as a person, security is an issue professional.
Sorry?
Because you can imagine where the agents go for an arrest and they don't their identity.
Please do call us back. I can't make out what you're saying. I'm sorry about that. 95.1.
Yeah, Canada, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name?
From Port Harcourt. Smart from Port Harcourt.
All right, Smart, welcome.
Yes, you see, Canada, it's a very easy thing. The governor, as the chief security officer, the number one chief security officer of the state, what he needs to do, seize place that stool on hold. Nobody should attain that stool. Then, in this part of the country, they love land so much. All their land, if the constitution will permit it, stop each and every one of them from selling any land as far as this part of the world is concerned. Now, if you have done that, you place a caretaker committee. It will even help you as the government to even go into the community to start flushing out every act of misdemeanor within the community.
Sorry. When you say caretaker committee, what do you mean?
Yeah, when I say a caretaker committee, for example, it should unpick the people that want to oversee the affairs of the community, depending on when those two factors will not come together and think. And even the chiefs that are the chiefs that are bringing those people, that are electing those people, they should also have a way. They should also stop them from selling land. Why? Because until they all come to a round table and not decide on one particular individual to attend the school, everything that has to do with economic, that has to do with them selling land and whatever, they should all be stopped from it. And then we all come together on the round table. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much for that brilliant one, by the way, Matt. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Kennedy, calling from Port Harcourt.
Kennedy, calling from Port Harcourt. Welcome, Kennedy. Kennedy, what's your contribution?
About the arrest of the traditional ruler.
No, basically, all of the happenings there, not just the arrest, all of the developments concerning the chieftaincy tussle.
I actually want to focus on the ruler bit.
All right. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. You want to focus.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How can a security agent come in a community, take a tradition, or let's assume that it's not even a traditional ruler, let's assume that it's just
a citizen. Yeah.
And take him without any. Is that not kidnapping?
You can't say that. Yeah.
You see the kind of security you have in Nigeria. They are talking the one they did yesterday against the journalists. They are doing another one. Are these people okay at all? Money. If you give them money, it's you that is asking you. If someone to give them money, they will come there and kidnap you.
No, they should not come and kidnap me. I don't have money. They should not come and kidnap me.
If somebody give them money,
I said they should not come and kidnap me. I don't have money. I don't have money to pay bill.
Their own is just money.
All right. Anyways, thank you very much for calling in. 95.1 FM.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mohammed Defenders, calling from Igruta.
All right, welcome. All the way from Igruta, welcome.
Thank you. Glad I want to engage in a conversation this morning.
All right, please do.
Okay. We're discussing about insecurity in Nigeria. I wanted to be precise.
And how it has to do with traditional rulers.
Yes. First of all, let me start with insecurity. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that this insecurity in Nigeria is man-made or a natural occurrence?
Sorry, what is man-made?
Man-made, that is caused by man.
As in, no, you say you say the insecurity, is that what you said?
Yeah, this insecurity, do you believe that it's caused by man or it's a natural occurrence?
No, it's caused by man, of course. Everywhere in the world, insecurity is caused by man.
Okay. Do you also believe that Nigeria has a solution, or it has gone beyond human?
Of course, it has a solution. If not, we would not be talking about it on air.
Okay, thank you very much. Canada.
Yeah.
We are pretending in Nigeria. A lot of pretense. Why do I say so? The solution to their problem is there, but we pretend as if we don't have solution to the problem of insecurity.
So what is, tell us, remind us. Let's say all of us are pretending. Please remind us what the solution is.
What is the solution we have to think about is that if the government have the political way to stop the insecurity, they can stop it.
How? Tell me. I'm asking again.
Okay. A situation whereby the police, Nigeria police, can they police the whole nation? How many police do you have today? Maybe in my own government called the chief. Move around all the communities. You see any policeman? We are protecting the VIPs, oil companies, the expatriates. the politicians. So how can we get it right? Then you are talking about that.
Are you there, living this?
They are called our culture.
Yeah.
Are you talking about political chiefs, or are you talking about what chief are you talking about?
Our traditional chiefs.
Please don't call the traditional chiefs. Call the political chiefs. Because for you to be a chief now, if you don't have any political link, you will not be a chief.
So are you saying now this tussle is because there is some political affiliation to it? Is that what you're saying?
Political affiliation, now for them to be relevant, they have to belong to a political party who will also give them that strength that they don't have anything to do with the local.
Interesting.
They're only concerned with the politics that they bring them there.
All right.
So we don't have the political will, my dear. The thing that we know the problem, but we pretend a lot in the country. We pretend. Yes, we pretend. So thank you.
All right,
God will help us.
Thank you very much.
God will help us.
Thank you very much for calling in. Now, we have a text message here, and it says the problem in all Ikoyi communities is because people have allowed politics to filter into the known tradition. They should study history and visit the ancient landmark, then look at how kings emerged in the past and bring it back. That is the solution to the problem. AZ from Port Harcourt. All right, another person saying politics is the reason. 95.1 FM.
My brother, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, my brother. What's your name and where you calling from?
Okay, my name is Louis, calling from Rukboku.
Louis from Rukboku, welcome.
No, it's not Wahala.
I see, I'm like that.
See, it's always a problem when a particular ruler in the community is a card-carried member of APC or PDP or ABGA.
So are you saying any of them are carrying cards for a political party? Is that what you're saying? Is any one of them carrying cards?
Most of them are loyalists.
I see.
And see, about this insecurity is always being channeled through the youth channel. Because without the youth, you cannot have insecurity. And these people, as Brahma always said, they are all political and they know what they do. I believe that one is always true. They know what they do. Because now, they have the resources, they have the channels to open the channels for these youth to get themselves busy. Because they say that the idle man is the devil of shop. Right. I believe in that is true.
All right.
Now, when these youth are idle sitting at home, and now you go and give them 10,000 naira, buy them kai, buy them gari, let them drink. I'm going to protest for you, I'm going to fight for you. They were your own children, as always overseas, Dubai, enjoying themselves. You see? And now, when they're going for this process, I don't know, our youth, okay, you not ask them to go and bring their children, to go and stand in the front line and go and protest, or to go and supply you the guns, or their children are somewhere overseas. Let them bring their children to go and join us and protest. Now we all know that they're doing the right, they're going to the right channel. You understand?
Yeah.
And now these people, they have the resources to provide job for these people, because if they are busy, maybe in the morning now, in the morning, I will take my bait and go to work. You know, you pay me 30,000 now, 20,000 naira now. What time will I have to go and protest? Say, I'm ready for 6 now. After all, it's not my boss. It's not paying me. It's not paying me. Not paying me. So now.
So they need these boys to be. They need these boys to be unemployed. So when the time rises, when the need rises, they would bring the boys to the streets to protest on their behalf.
That's the problem. That's the issue.
I see.
Now, if they should provide job for those boys, there will not be that. There will not be no boys for them now. That's when the boys will speak. Understand? That's when the boys will truly speak. So they know what they do. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. So everybody is saying, or majority of the people are saying, we don't need chiefs, traditional rulers who are politically minded. But then again, how do you remove politics from traditional rulers? Because the traditional ruler is, like I said earlier, the custodian of our tradition, our various tradition. And for tradition to be preserved, there needs to be some kind of what's the word now? Some kind of pally, you know. The traditional rulers have to act like liaison officers, you know, to the government, between the government and the people, rather. And so the traditional rulers still have a role to play in politics. I mean, for example, if the government wants to do something in a community, it's only advisable that the government somehow goes through the local government chairman, who goes through the traditional rulers. So these are all important people. Do they really need to suffer from political apathy? That's a question we need to answer. I mean, should we really have a traditional rulers not being involved in politics? But that's not really the focus for this morning. We're looking at the current situation in Alakaya, and we are asking what's the way forward. Should the River State government, cease to recognize that communities too? Maybe that way it becomes less lucrative. It becomes less lucrative is the word, and maybe we would not have the kind of tussle that we currently are having, where people are dying left, right, center, or people are being snatched away from their houses, odd hours of the day. These are some of maybe that would be a good solution. Maybe that would be a good solution, or should we have both parties, both groups disqualified from gaining access to this tool? Maybe new set of people emerge, a new set of people get coronated. Maybe that will bring peace, because once again, like I said earlier, we have our children in that community, being that the University of Port Harcourt is around that area. We have people doing businesses in that community. That community is a route where many people ply on a daily basis. And so, if people in that community say they are not safe, how much more these other groups that I've just mentioned? So we need to look for a solution. We need to look. How do you think best? How do you think best? Someone called in and said maybe we should no longer recognize traditional stools in River State. But then again, is that the way forward? 95.1 FM. I lost that call. Please do call me back. 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510951. Text messages to the number 0701 9339962. I call the numbers again: 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510951. You can send in your text messages or WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 933 9962. I mean, like I said earlier, this is a reflection of what really happens in other positions of government. I mean, whether elections for government positions, it shows what really does happen. Because if these chiefs had the people in mind, then they would be walking towards peace already. 95.1 FM.
Canada, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name?
I'm Bilby right now.
All right, Bilby, welcome.
Canada. There is a truth that we have not been able to
establish.
Sometimes one thing lead to another. You see, to tell the truth, like somebody on caller has said, job need to be provided. As the population is growing, the leaders who we elected should think, because in Nigeria today, yesterday is let's say, for instance now, 100 million. And people are, that are being born, and one of the people that die. People that leave school, and one of the people that are retired. Yes, so for now, if the job you are doing now, somebody has not invented, think of doing that thing and you have a job. So, and in this country, all the crude oil that is in the soil, they say the federal government owns it. And the places where in collecting this crude oil, you refuse to develop it. What do you expect? You don't provide jobs. You don't build what will remain those who own those places as they grow up for them to be engaged. You just that is not supposed to government allocation. No, it's not supposed to be so. Those who go to Saudi Arabia have not been there. They say that there is a kind of way they structure the places that the people that have the oil, the oil, they pay tax to government. And the money that will come from that oil to move that area. If God gives you maybe in the north, the one is to produce maybe cow or carrot or onions, produce very well. People that have oil, and the oil companies have already their land, their oil exploration. Then you want to give them a cattle ranch, that they should.
What does this got to do with traditional rulers once again?
I'm coming. See, these things, traditional rulers always boil down to money. The traditional rulers are looking up to money. Every position is about money.
All right.
I want to say this, that the government should do something that will engage the youth. The youth are engaged. No traditional leader will use them to fight. No governor will use them. No person will use them to
I
fight.
see.
Like in the other foreign countries, everybody should be engaged. Like go to China now. How will they gather 100 youth while they are busy? Trying to think of what inventions and what to do to make them be on the workers. Because when they're idle, no school, no job. As you go, as long as you engage, you are giving 20,000 or 200,000, come and carry it for 7. You go because there's no job for you. And then provide job for the youth. The youth will not be used for security. If you say old man cannot jump fence to go and fight, just youth to 70-year-old boy, to 18-year-old boy, to 5-year-old boy. Then what do they use? So because there's no job for them, they provide job for them. They socialize the land, build industry. Not building hotel, where you go and spoil the young, small guys.
All right, baby, thank you. We've got to go now. Thank you very much for that one, but that's the much we can take for this hour. Conversations continue by, the hour of 11. By the hour of 11, another round of discuss. I'm bringing another round of interesting discuss your way, so you want to stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. But going forward, I think the River State government should quickly join this conversation and look for a way out, because like I said, this might just be disaster waiting to happen, a very big disaster waiting to happen. All right, thank you very much for calling, and let's do this together by the 11 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. I'm Kalada.
Today FM at 6. Yay! Thank you, Productions, for opening your heart to Today 95.1 FM.
Without you, there is no us. 6 years of giving you a voice, 6 years of non-stop quality broadcasting, 6 years of great talk, news, mind-blowing sports and entertainment.
The most beautiful things are not associated with money. They are memories and moments we share.
Today, we have the courage to celebrate because of you, and you.
As you share in our celebration, we wish you all the joy that never ends.
It's no longer news that we are the voice of the people. We work hard, so we have to party hard.
Come on.
Oh yeah, nah. Come on.
Let's go.
Cultism is a monster whose ravaging effects have left tales of woes such as loss of lives, kidnapping, drug abuse, threats, destruction of properties, blackmail, rape, and many other ills in society. In our society today, poor parental training, peer pressure, poverty, quest for power and social identity are the leading factors that contributes to youths indulging in this act. Again, peace can be restored to our society only if we attach value to human lives. And this would bring about rapid development to our community. Say no to cultism. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM.
Good morning, sir.
My pikin, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, sir.
You dey go school?
Yes, sir.
Make sure say you read.
Madam, please, can I have one small juice and 2 biscuits there? Please be fast. Okay, customer, pay no vex. I dey come, make her bring them.
Let me talk.
No, you're late. You're late already.
Plantain, buy plantain.
See as this small girl dey cross this busy road anyhow.
Sweet plantain.
So, your mama no know say you too young to dey hawk?
Now one for mama, oh. I beg, come on for road, make I cross road.
Made in China.
Oh, buy your plantain.
Leave the road.
The fact that you're not financially buoyant doesn't mean that you should abuse your child. Most times, these children don't have the capacity or knowledge to carry on these tasks. Education, they say, is an important aspect in a child's life. So do well not to take away that opportunity from them, as it will affect them later in the future. Remember that giving out your child for early marriage could also affect the child's life. So stop child trafficking. Avoid sending them out in the name of making money, because the children today are the leaders of tomorrow. Don't ruin their future with your ignorance. Say no today to child abuse. Say no today to child trafficking. Say no today to child marriage. This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of this. Yes, we are so amazing. That's the least we should.
All right, this is your Premium Talk News and Sports Radio station, and I want to thank you for staying tuned to Today 95.1 FM. I'm Khaled, and this is the Saturday morning show, and we just finished talking about traditional rulers and the current happenings or situation in Alakaya community in Obiako local government area, where it seems like there's been a tussle for the chieftaincy still in that community. And I'm saying that if it is not, curbed in the bud, or, it might just result into some big stuff. But I want us to move on to another national discuss this time. And it's something I saw on social media some 2 days ago. It really concerns you, by the way. It really concerns you. It was written by one JJ Omujua, and his handle is @Omujua. And he wrote and he said, Nigerians who migrated to other countries as recently as 10 years ago. Sorry, I take that again. Nigerians who migrated to other countries as recently as 10 years ago are winning elections in those countries. Meanwhile, a Nigerian in Nigeria can't win an election in parts of Nigeria because of state of origin. It's never hard to know why some societies are governed by fools. And now I want us to look at state of origin. So for some of you, you've been in the River State for more than 10 years. If you were in another country like this social media person has said, or this author has said, you probably would have been able to contest. You would have had the right to contest for certain positions in government. Maybe you could have been a councillor. What's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger, the guy who we all know as Commando, is not an American. As a matter of fact, he was once a governor in America. What's his name? The former president of America. What's his name again? Barack Obama is Kenyan. And yeah, I was able to become president after so many years in America. The fact is, if you were living in some civilized countries, you probably would have been able to, have the same rights as the citizens in that country. But why is it not applicable in Nigeria? You stayed in River State for as much as 10 years. And if you were to, start claiming the same rights as people in River State, I know my brothers very well. In as much as they can be very hospitable, they will be the ones to first shout and say, no, he's not from River State. He's not a River State man. He's not a River State man. He cannot. No, don't give it to him. Why do we have that sense of entitlement when it comes to, things that benefits that, certain states enjoy? Why do we have that sense of entitlement? I'm from River State, and so as a matter of fact, all the benefits that will go to River State and its people will go only to me and the people like me who are from River State. Why do we have that mentality? Is that a good mentality? Is that a bad mentality? I know in certain states like Lagos, efforts have been seen, although minute efforts, but efforts have been seen nonetheless to do away with the state of origin thing. Certain people who are not really from that state have been seen wielding certain positions in government. State of origin. Is that really a good thing? Is it really a bad thing? We have people call, hey, Niger Delta oil, it is our oil. It is our oil. Give it to us. State of origin, it still boils down to the state of origin. Yeah. Yes, but that's the truth. It still boils down. I'm not saying whether it's the wrong struggle or not, or it's the right one. I'm just saying it still boils down to that mentality where, it because it is in my state, it belongs to me and the people like me who are from that state. And it's no wonder we have young people besieging. I know, yes, of course, there's unemployment. I do know that. Trust me, I do. There is unemployment. At one time, I was also, part of the unemployed youths. So, yeah, there is unemployment. But then again, that sense of entitlement, that belief that it belongs to my people and I'm part of the people, so they go to companies and besiege these companies and say, if you do not do X, Y, Z, we will shut you down. We will shut you down. Sense of entitlement is why, a young boy who should, even if government is not giving him work, who should be looking at creative ways to making money, will stand on the road and demand you to pay matching ground. Sense of entitlement. State of origin, really, is where, maybe, some kind of contract is supposed to be given, some kind of, maybe there's a job opening and they need a technocrat. And basically, because let's say this Today FM now, let's say Today FM was owned by the government, the River State government, and they needed some good hands. And apparently, I'm not saying there are no good hands in River State too, but apparently at that time, certain people from, let's use our brothers now. Let's say someone from Akwa Ibom, good hands, great hands, very good. Basically, if you put them, on a scale, the people from Akwa Ibom were way better on the job than the people from River State. But because it's a state-owned radio station, the people from Akwa Ibom would not be able to get the job, despite the fact that maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them might have stayed in River State for about 10 years. I mean, maybe the school in Uniport for first degree went to US River State University for second degree, and if you put that together, that's like 6 years or 7. And yet, those same people cannot be afforded the chance, the right to work for government-owned parastatals or even join politics. Once again, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? I mean, don't you think that the state of origin is the root of the tribalism that has divided Nigeria, in the various lines that we are being divided in? Don't you think that if we had, people from the north working in the south, people from the south working in the north, and, you could work anywhere as long as you're a Nigerian, don't you think that would have fostered unity, and that would have even brought us, to the point where we can together, united. What other word can I use? What word? Just let's use together. We would have been together fighting against bad leadership. Don't you think that maybe we would have been able to develop majority? Because it doesn't matter whether I am from River State. Maybe I would have been able to develop Akwa Ibom State. Maybe I would have been able to develop Delta State with whatever little knowledge that I have. And maybe the other person, if given the chance, because remember, the civil service, they're very instrumental to how the society is shaped. Remember, the government, they are the ones who make policies and make decisions that in turn affects the people, whether positively or negatively. So imagine we had these technocrats, from different states, people who are intelligent, the same people who go to other countries in the world and change the world. They change the world. I mean, if you go research now, go do some statistics, you will find out that some of the great doctors, some of these wonderful doctors, maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5% of them are Nigerians. Some of these wonderful engineers, some of these wonderful, what do you call them now? Innovators outside the country? Nigerians. Imagine if what's the boxer who was beaten recently? What's his name again? And Joshua, what's his name again? Joshua what? What's his name? Oh, I can't remember. But you know the person I'm talking about. Imagine he's a Nigerian, by the way. So imagine if he was in Nigeria. Maybe that's where you are from. State of origin would have been a problem. Maybe it would have been a problem. I mean, look at Dele Alli, playing for England. For those of you who love football. Imagine if it was in Nigeria. Where are you from? Would have been maybe an hindrance. Maybe it would have been an hindrance. I mean, like I said, maybe. States of origin. But look at it. Dele Alli, Nigerian, playing for England. Playing for a British team like he's from England. Because he has stayed there for so long a time. Because he was born there. Serena Williams, Nigerian of Nigerian origin, also playing tennis for America, like she's like her parents are Americans. Who else do I know? Chimamanda, working, going across America, giving speeches, working in America, by the way, like she's from America. Meanwhile, she was even born in Nigeria. But because she stayed there for so long, so she can actually enjoy some of the benefits that citizens do enjoy in that country. Why don't we have the same structure in Nigeria? Would you want the same structure in Nigeria? Would you allow somebody from Benue or someone from Lagos or someone from Ekiti? Would you allow somebody from someone from Kaduna, from Katsina to come to River State and enjoy the same benefits that you enjoy? Would you allow it? Because sometimes we blame the government for not doing policies, but then again, the people, you have a major role to play. And this morning's show focuses on what you think about scrapping state of origin, what you think about scrapping, what do you call it, local government identification and all of that stuff. We should be more like, I've stayed here 10 years and so automatically I'm an indigene, or I've stayed here 5 years. We should just put a date to it or a timeline to it. But then again, what do you make of it? What do you think? Is it okay by you? Where me probably from Delta State, me probably from Benue State, or maybe I'm from Katsina State and I'm here in River State and I'm trying to enjoy the same benefits you're enjoying because I've stayed here for more than 5 years. Would you entertain such an idea? Would you allow it? Would you embrace it? Would you love it? Would you allow it to happen? What do you think about scrapping state of origin? Or you feel or you believe state of origin is the main thing? I mean, it will help balance things out. I mean, imagine people seeing, River State maybe as a minority group, while they're seeing the Northern State as a majority group, and so allowing state of origin will allow River State people to enjoy certain benefits. Is that how you think? How you say it? Call in and let me get to know your view. 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. Text messages to the number 0701-933-9962. 16 minutes gone past the hour of 11 and time for another round of conversation or discussions, as you would like to put it. 95.1.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Oh, good morning. My name is Aja.
Your name is?
Aja.
Welcome.
Yeah. You see the problem in this country. Immediately, the issue of the state of origin, that's right. The spirit of competition has gone. The spirit of hard work is over. Yeah, so there is nothing like anything to make this country grow again. Now, if we put it in this way, you see everybody working hard to attain a certain level and they make this country a greater place. You see students trying to be the best of the best. You see somebody working in a very particular place, trying to achieve more things, and they establish a greater thing that will help other people to be gainfully employed. You understand?
Yeah, I can hear you.
In the north, somebody that score 100,
they will give him admission.
Yeah, true.
In the East, somebody that scored 200 and the person will not get admission. So where is the equity? The issue of zoning is a thing that I don't want to hear. The issue of this state of origin is not helping the country at all. And it cannot help us, it cannot lead us to anywhere. The only thing we have to do is to make sure that we bring back the system whereby everything will be based on merit. It will do.
All right, so you're saying a system where everybody is Nigerian and not I'm from Igbo, I'm from Hausa,
not Yoruba, not Igbo, not Rivers, not Igbo. Everybody have to be a true Nigerian.
All right.
So anywhere you are anything you are going for, let it be based on merit. You will see the spirit of hard work will come back.
All right.
I can remember when we were in primary school, we do what we call a station. You prepare yourself. You try to be the best of what you are. When secondary school, it was like that also. You see people going for quiz. As you are in the quiz, you don't say you are from, you mention the name of your school. And in that school, we have different people from different tribes. You are defending your school, and tomorrow you do the best of what you are. So let them stop the issue of tribalism, the issue of quota system. It doesn't help. It can never help. Can never make this country to grow. We will remain where we are. We will even be going back. All right.
Yes. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much. Well said. Go to the next caller, 95.1 FM.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning to you, JJ. It's been a while.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, I was in London now.
Oh, my. Welcome back.
No, we are trying to remove Theresa May, so we are still working on this.
All right, welcome.
Yes. My brother, I think if we can do away with this state of origin thing, it will go a long way to help people. How come we always complain, Lagos is ahead of this, Lagos is ahead of that? Go to State Lagos Assembly. You will see people from other parts of the country occupying positions based on, it was the same Lagos people that elected them because they know their ability. They did not think, Lagos is predominantly Yoruba or this, so it must be a Yoruba assembly. No. There are people, according to Aristotle, he said in the slave hierarchy, he talked about society in three folds. The slave, the king, and all those stuff. That even within the slave sector, that there are people that are slaves that are even wiser than the masters, true of us.
True. True.
So what I'm trying to say in essence is, I think if they remove it, it will be a welcome development. But there are factors that will never allow that to be removed. One of the factors is the quest for political office is also a quest for economic power.
Okay.
So if JAJ, who is originally from Delta and have stayed in River State for 23 years, wants to contest now maybe one of the constituency in Obiakpo, they say, this guy wants to come and collect our shopping.
Yeah, that's the same.
They don't see you.
That's the same.
They see JJ as somebody that can represent very well, somebody that can present bills that can make for the betterment of the people. What they look after is shopping. See, my brother, let me
but JJ, why would you want to come and eat our oil money? Won't you go to your community and eat your...
I'm also from my oil producing store.
Well, go to your community and eat your oil. I'm just saying what they would say.
I understand that's what they will say. But I tell you that if they look at what the stuff this guy is made of, and I want to tell you the most dangerous part, there are communities and local government you go to. They zone this thing based on the families within that area.
Yeah, true.
Let's say Obiakpo Constituency 1, for instance, right? They can say this time around is for Woji people. And after 4 years, to go to Rumo Biakane. And after 4 years, to go to Rumi or Shakara. So, by the time, oh God. So, especially, Obiakpo is even big. Go to smaller local government like maybe Akukutoru or those that they know the families that make up those communities. It's a name. So they say, okay, today it should be for Canada party. And whether Canada people have people or they don't have, they just pick somebody and they just go there. That is why we cannot even have good representatives at the at the National Assembly. Look at the North. They bring relatively young guys that are very vibrant and training them for the push-up. Now look at the South. We bring in old people that are almost ready to die. Why? Because of this family this, family A to family B to family C, or compound this is now our compound turn and all those ones because of the shopping. So as far as I'm concerned, if we can remove this idea of shopping by not saying that for a quest for political power, because a quest for economic power, they don't see it as shopping and see it as work and service that somebody can deliver, then we can make a headway. But saying it as those things, my brother, we are still standing on a long thing. Lagos will keep being ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're not comparing Lagos and Port Harcourt. I'm just in general 95.1.
Hello, my brother.
Ghost time is back. All right, Ghost time, talk to me.
Thank you, my brother. See, this is the problem we have in Nigeria today.
All right.
Anything at all. Hey, my brother, my people, my this one, my son. See, let me tell you, my brother, even in Igbo land where I live now, 2015, I bought a calendar, the richest people in Nigeria. Then as I hold the calendar, the person that was with me, just to say, look at these people, this and this and that. The question the person asked me, how many Igbo people there in that calendar? that is just the question. You know, Igbo care to know the people in that calendar. He just only threw that question to me, how many Igbo people in that calendar? That's all. My brother, my own. Now, this is the key in Nigeria today. Even you see your brother, you cannot even perform, you cannot do anything. Since they speak my language, me we can say the same thing, push him there. Let him be there. Even anyhow he be, make him be there. Now my brother will speak the same language. Now the thing they make Nigeria, not they work fine today. Make things not they move fine Nigeria today. That's the problem we have. I even see, even as I've seen here now, if I say, okay, I see somebody they do something like where I live in, I say, this is what you do, why you do, I'm like this. They go say, okay, leave them, this is how we do our thing. If you don't like it, go to your place. That's all.
All right.
Just go to your place. Then I keep quiet. That's all. Oh, my brother, only God will help us in this.
All right.
As the 36 states, then they wake up small, and I believe God, they don't remember us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much. Keep your calls coming in. 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. Text messages and WhatsApp messages to the number 0701-933-9962 95.1 FM.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Speak up. Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
What's your name? Poor connection there. Please call me back. 95.1.
Hello, good morning. This is DK in Port Harcourt.
DK, welcome.
Hi, sir, there.
My day is going great.
You are introducing a very interesting topic.
All right, thank you very much.
One that is easier said than done because of the complexity of our country.
Okay. Are we more complex? Are we not? Is the United States not as complex as Nigeria? I mean, what complexity are you talking about? Is it because we have multi-religions, ethnic groups? What complexities?
Okay, I will tell you. Definitely, United States of America is more diverse in ethnic group than Nigeria.
All right.
But in Nigerian case, we have bad politics. Politics of ethnicity and region. Imagine a learning place like university, federal university.
Interesting.
That before a PC should emerge in such a place, it has to come from that state.
Interesting.
You can imagine that.
Interesting.
The whole thing is skilling, initiative, and talent. And that is why we remain where we are. It's a product of leadership, our leaders. They have divided us. As earlier callers said, you can't have the bear
with this kind of system. It requires thinking and, innovation. A situation where you are tried and you're supposed to be uplifted, maybe because of your region, because of your ethnic group, and you remain there. You are not promoted. Or sometimes you are not even employed. Is that a good one? There was a discussion some time ago that was anchored in the morning where Chief Ndukwe was talking about, if he's not from this state, for somebody to crown him a chief, no matter how long he has lived here, is very difficult. There was a discussion like that. And he was just telling the truth. We are just in one country in name. We are highly divided. And the situation is even more aggravated as days are passing by with all the bad policies that is coming up now. So it is really frustrating.
Right.
It is good that you have brought up a discussion like this to create reawakening in the minds of the younger ones that the system we have been operating is not the best. So, and corruption is a part of it.
All right.
Because when you also leave it open, some people will take advantage of that, place their brothers and all of that. As at the time of prior to independence, the North were lacking in manpower.
All right.
They felt a sense of domination from the East who were more educated and all of that. That is where they started a system where even when their people were not qualified enough, they still pushed them so that they will have the manpower to also take care of their area.
All right.
But the whole thing has ended up working against our growth.
All right. So you're saying we should push for, the extinction of the state of origin thinking.
No. I'm not advocating for that, but I'm also giving you the background leading to it and how it could be.
So what then are you advocating for? Because if you're saying that the state of origin thing has cost us division more than production or more than growth, then why don't we scrap it? What then are you advocating for?
I was saying ideally it's okay, but it's easier said than done.
What do you mean by easier said than done?
Yes, that is where I started. So thank you.
Anyways, I was going to ask you why you said it is easier said than done, because if you agree with me that the state of origin has divided us, then why don't we just push for start crying out and say enough is enough? We don't want this, because like you said, a federal university, a university owned by federal government, will not have a VC if the VC is not from the community or from the state where the federal university is located. Then we have a problem. Then how do we grow? Tomorrow now, maybe there's an election. You would hear the ruling party come and say, last time the government was in the hands of these people. So this time we want you to go to the hands of the West, or we want you to go to the hands of the East. Zoning. Still along tribal lines, still along zonal lines, and this is one of the big issues in Nigeria. And so when another group does not agree, I say, no, how will it go to the east? Why is it not coming to the south? Or how would it go to the west? Why is it not coming to the east? Then we have an issue. But imagine if anybody can contest, irrespective of your state of origin. When there is no state of origin, then we probably will be having a very productive and not a divisive Nigeria. But what do I know? I stand to be corrected. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, my name is Onari. Good morning.
Your name is Onari?
Yes.
Onari, welcome. Good morning to you.
Yes. I think I disagree with the notion that indigenization has actually caused a lot of problems in Nigeria.
All right, tell me your view then.
Yeah, my view is that God created us, left us. I'm a rivers man. God created me there and gave me resources.
All right.
Gave me the manpower, the skills.
All right.
And I think it's left for me to harness my skills and my resources and use them properly for my
and people. I do not argue with you. But what about if somehow, being born in River State, being from River State, and something happened in the course of your life, you had to migrate to let's say Ghana, or let's even say America, and you've been able to stay there for 10 years, don't you think that you should also demand the right to be able to enjoy the same benefits as the people who had been born in that same area?
Benefits like what? Benefits like
harnessing the same,
like my franchise,
like harnessing the same resources that you talked about.
I disagree with you.
Really?
I say so.
No, so tell me.
That is why when I go to the US,
yeah,
I go there, pay my taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I get a job and that's all. And so when they come here, they pay taxes also.
But when you stay there for 10 years or more, or even more than maybe 5 years, I don't know what the timeline is. But when you stay there for a stipulated amount of time, you begin to enjoy the same things like the citizens in that country.
I actually disagree.
But it's true. That is why we have the green card. The green card gives you that ability, that right to enjoy the benefits of the citizens. You disagree still?
I disagree. In Black Africa, I don't think where that's civilized enough to say that should be indigenization.
Oh right? My! All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in. Me did hesitate for a bit. Yeah. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, my brother.
Yes, quickly. Other people are calling in.
See, the problem now is this our side here. If you want to say this. Okay, now look at Yaradua, late President Yaradua from Katsina. Then another president again taken from the same Katsina. You see something like that in our side here. You see something like that. See, all this is discrimination, this and that. Now from this our side, we even they carry Bible back. Now even they tell me, thank you, my brother.
All right, I didn't catch you very well, but it's fine. Thank you very much for calling back. God's time. Like the second to the last caller said, indigenes have the right to enjoy. Indigenes have the right to, to harness the natural resources God has given to them. And I do not argue with him. But the question is, do I, as someone from, let's say, Ekiti. Maybe I'm from Ekiti and I've been here in River State for maybe all my life. 20-something, 30-something years, 40-something years, 50-something years. Don't I stand a chance to enjoy some of the benefits he does enjoy? Really? 95.1.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
I'm Cody. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Cody, welcome.
Indigenization at all levels, whether international or international, as in the case of Nigeria, it's a tragic process.
Is it tragic?
Very tragic.
Tell me, explain, please.
It deters progress.
Really?
But having said this, it's also justified.
Okay.
Somebody wanted to make a allusion and say northeast, not the northerners and east. That was taken too far. The River State and the Eastern States. But for indigenization, why I say it's a reality, but for indigenization, my father would have bought from here to Omanelu and give the indigenous just their domot to stay every morning. But indigenization stabilize this process in River State.
But wait, sorry, let me get you again. Your father would have bought majority of the land.
I'm trying to say from Burukiri to Omanelu.
Your father would have bought it.
Yes.
And don't you think? Wait. And don't you think that your father would have used that for industrialization and building of companies that, in return, the people in River State would have got employment from?
He will build an industry that enriches you.
But my point is,
then enslave the indigenous.
Are you kidding me now?
I'm just
so now you feel that's the wrong mentality. If your father, listen, if your father would have been able to build an industry, and then the people living in that area would have gotten employment from it, then that is not enslavement. That is providing jobs for the people.
It's providing job, but enslaving job.
Really?
If you ask your grandfather, I'm sure you have raised it. Before the war, from here to Imo Gate had been bought by the Igbos.
All right.
From here to Onagwa, fought by the Igbos.
All right.
It was the part of tragedy of the Civil War, or then of the Civil War, that the situation was stabilized. The indigenous had back some part of their inheritance. So indigenization is tragic, but at the same time, it's necessary to stabilize the relationship between the different ethnic groups or geopolitical groups.
All right.
It is very necessary.
All right.
If you leave it for all comers, some people, either due to stereotypes, will dominate the other people.
But don't you think now that there's still stereotypes, because we need to look at indigens before we look at other people?
Yes, that is why indigenization it must be respected.
Interesting. Okay.
It must be respected, so as to give some respect to the natives, to the indigenous people.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in. Interesting there. All right. I'm having it hot in the studio, yeah? This one says, Mr. Calada, why is it that there are companies and business establishments? Yeah. Hello, 95.1.
Yeah, just 30 seconds.
All right, quickly then. I did not know I'd answer the call. All right, go ahead.
You remember or you know the mayor of London right now, right?
The one that's having, is it the one that's having issues with Donald Trump?
With my home man, yes.
Yeah.
I hope you know he's of Arab background.
Yes, I do. The name.
But he's the mayor of London, right?
He is.
Remember Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I mentioned that already. I mentioned Barack Obama.
Exactly.
I mentioned.
Now, let me tell you, the last caller talked about buying everywhere. Nobody bought anything. Those lands were allocated to them during the Midwestern, or what they call Eastern region. You know, the headquarters of the Eastern region was in what they call Enugu, right? So most of those people that claimed they owned land as at that time, usually the ones that use the Zori camp, where they said the Sojuku father that owned, were allocated to them. They never pay a dime. That's why when another government came in, the government have to reallocate those lands to which cannot keep, because we were told that the only way to keep government property, if you have government gift, the only way to keep it is to either go into government or sponsor your friends that will become government official, so that those things don't leave your hands. So it's not nobody bought anything.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So now we're doing history. All right. This one says, Mr. Kalada, why is it that there are companies and business establishments in River State, yet River State had the highest unemployment rate, given that these companies were operated by non-Rivers people? The idea of the state of origin tends to see a balance in the distribution of economic opportunities. It should not be done away with. Lawson from Aouda. Lawson, I'm going to ask you a question. How many companies? Can you count the number of companies that we have in River State? Really, how many of them are there, apart from the oil companies, by the way, who now have their headquarters in Lagos and Abuja? This one says, our founding fathers make us to understand that indigenous dialect is superior to English, and people of the same dialect follow their people and also favor them. Based on that, it will be seemingly hard for someone who is not of same dialect with you to fully accept, who's not of same dialect with you, fully accepted on job despite. I don't understand your message, but Joshua Kalu, thank you very much for sending that in. And this one says, good day, Mr. Kalada. The Nigerian nation is blessed by the Almighty Father, but the people are sectional. It is unfortunate the Nigerians never understood themselves. From John Ikududu, Fidelis Avenue, Offshore Location Road, Oibo. All right, thank you very much for that one. And I do agree with you. The people are sectional, and that's why we're having this discourse. And I'm saying, don't you think that maybe if we scrapped out state of origin, in all of our documents, in all of our national discourse, maybe we would be able to foster unity, because you might, you are Nigerian, wherever you find yourself. If you're in Lagos, you're Nigerian. If you're in Abuja, you're Nigerian. It doesn't matter where you come from. 95.1 FM. I lost that call. Please call me back. I lost that one as well. 0817 0000951 and 0810-951-0951. Text messages to the number 0701-933-9962. All right, to the phone lines. 951.
Hello, Prumo.
DK.
I called back. I ran short of airtime.
All right, quickly.
Yes, you were asking why I said it is easier said than done. You see, we have to trace the source, even the cause why people behave this way. It is born out of insecurity, fear of domination. Fear of domination. And that fear persists. Okay, imagine now they are talking about Fulanization and Islamization. You now appoint a PC, for instance, in Unipod, who is a Fulani. And in an environment like this that is already tense of Fulanization, do you think that will work?
But then again, we would not even have fallen into this, idea of tribalism if we had scrapped out, state of origin. If everybody was Nigerian, we would not even be having this argument in the first place.
It is caused by our leaders. They are the ones. And they have their reason, bad politics. And the whole thing is getting so entrenched. It's unfortunate.
All right.
So everything zeroes down to leadership. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much. All right. Keep your calls coming in. Let's have a conversation. Is interesting. State of origin. Do you think it has done us more good than harm? Do you think we should scrap it? Do you think we should, allow people, run for offices or, get jobs wherever they find themselves as long as they're Nigerians? That's the discuss this morning. 95.1. Lost that one. 95.1.
Hello, Salada.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your name? Sorry? I can hear you.
I think I'm Pastor.
Oh, Pastor. Welcome.
State of origin somehow, if it is well applied, and then like we have indigenization. The increase for indigenization said by Obaka was to enable and empower Nigeria, as it was taking away the breakup we held.
Sorry, I can't really hear you. Can you speak up? Can you be audible?
I said that indigenization as promoted by Obasanjo during his military regime.
All right.
Was to empower the Nigerians by taking away the jobs that the foreigners were handling.
When you say the foreigners, you mean the white people?
Yeah. AP and all. So that was what happened.
All right.
Okay. But now where they got it wrong is allowing those who were not qualified to begin to occupy managerial position. That was where everything started going wrong until now. Okay. Then please, there is a bit of history I want to correct.
All right.
The age of just finished saying that lands were allocated. I was born in this river state in 1960, Elele precisely.
All right.
The land we were living, where we even had our base, because my late uncle helped to do it. We are bought.
We were bought and not allocated. We were bought and not allocated, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And now he's talking that land is located. That's it. Land can't lie.
All right.
If you go to Momasi, where I know where, there's called the Kureko quarters.
All right.
Pass the Kureko from Aruchipo, my town, it's land. If you go to Old Abba Road, my late uncle had where you have long effort.
All right.
These places we are bought, not allocated. Because GeoAgents should not come to radio to be telling people lies. I don't like it. I think I told you I'm a pastor. That was why I was making it.
No worry. Everybody's entitled to. I believe.
No. People should be bringing facts to radio because the public.
All right. And now you have brought your facts. We will have to cross-check all of these facts and know which one.
Now they are talking about people taking land because it's not allocated. Go to Omagua. Go to even in the greater here now. A lot of the lands belonging to the indigenous are being sold away to foreigners.
All right.
So tomorrow you come back and say, the lands they are allocated today. That is why if you have sold any property that belongs to you, so it no longer belongs to you.
All right.
So God bless you.
And thank you very much then for calling in. Thank you very much. All right, keep your calls coming in. 0817 0000951. and 0810-951-0951. We're talking for national unity, by the way. We're trying to see how we can force a peace, and we're saying state of origin. Should we do away with it, or should we keep having it? 95.1 FM. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Calaba.
Hey, what's your name? Yeah, good morning to you.
My name is Reginald.
All right, welcome.
This topic is very, very interesting. But unfortunately, this present day Nigeria, is not going to change anything. Look,
all right.
President Trump, when President Trump started ruling in America, he said America first.
America first, yeah.
Good. You know where he learned that America first?
Yeah.
He learned it from late Ahmad Bello. Of Sokoto, back in 1952.
How do you mean? Nigeria first.
Good. Way back in 1952. So, there's still a record of his saying about this. He said, Northerners, the North first. Northerners first. Way back in 1952. So, and he said, if there are no Northerners, that he will employ white expatriates. And that.
So where are you going with this now? Where are you going with this?
No, I'm trying to tell you where this whole thing started. This whole ethnicity and
indigenous settings, yeah.
That's the origin of it in this country, Nigeria. Whereas somebody like Nnamdi Azikiwe was preaching this, it was Nnamdi Azikiwe who brought in this one Nigeria.
All right, fine. So now I'm not going back into history because we seem to be having so many historians calling on the show tonight. But what I'm looking at, being that, okay, now you've been able to go back in time and tell us a bit of good stories of Nnamdi Azikiwe and what's the other person's name you called? You've been able to teach us one or two. Now, the point is, looking at it, do you think we should still have that state of origin thing on our documents as a law?
Let me tell you. No, people will never allow that to happen, particularly people from the north. They will never allow you to use.
It's not about what people do you. Now, what do you want? I'm not talking about what people want. What do you think is the way forward? This is your opinion, not talking about other people's opinion. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a good thing? This is going to be a bad thing? That is what I'm asking you.
Listen, my dear. Listen, I am old enough, to know what is happening in this country.
I do know that. See, for everything that we would have, there will be obstacles. We're not looking at the obstacles now. Let's assume this is going to be implemented into law, that they're going to scrap out state of origin. Do you think it's going to be a good thing? Do you think it's going to be a bad thing? That's what I'm saying. That's the question we're asking on the show this morning.
Listen, my brother. Let us be open, and then it will help.
No, you're derailing the conversation, and I'm trying to make you stick to the conversation. That is what I'm trying to do.
It will be good. Listen, it will be good if you start this tribe or state.
All right.
It will be very, very good. It will be a very good, strong unifying factor.
All right.
You now know that things will now be based on merit.
All right.
So when you remove this tribe thing, remove statism, then you will also remove this quota system.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
These things have to be scrapped.
All right.
And then let everything be on merit. But I bet you a section of the country, particularly
you see, going back to the section. All right.
This is the truth. This is the simple truth. That is why the country will never move anywhere.
Now, should I shock you now? It's not about a section. It's about, like I said, your personal opinion. People who have called in on the show this morning, who are from River State, who have said that they would not want such a thing. So it's not about a section of the country. Once again, it's about your personal opinion.
See?
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Many academic exercises we are doing. It's okay.
All right, thank you very much. You think it's an academic insight, but you might just be changing the minds of people and you never know it. That is why, once again, when you're calling, you go and state your opinion. If you're able to give your opinion, and put it in a way that it impresses other people, we see people begin to nod and dance to that same tune that you've played. So you never know. When you call in, give your opinion and try and see how you can sell your opinion to people and not try talking about other people's opinion. Back to the phone lines, 95.1.
Hello.
Good morning.
Fine morning, brother.
Yeah.
I called back to answer your simple question. Indigenization is evil.
All right.
But a necessary evil.
All right.
It retards progress, but empowers indigents.
All right.
If you remove it, there will be massive domination.
Massive domination? How do you mean? How do you mean there will be massive domination?
Domination by people will be better stereotyped.
How do you mean?
You know what
Explain. I don't understand.
I don't want to go further than this because I don't want my head to be found in Tobras and my body in Timbuktu.
Oh God, this guy just made me laugh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in. I thought we said we are talking. We are not scared. You want to say the truth, and now you're. Anyways. Let's get the conversations rolling. 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. We'll be ending the show in about 7 minutes, so do call in now. 95.1.
Hello, good morning, Canada.
Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling me from?
My name is Dali from Chuba.
All right, welcome all the way from Chuba.
Yes, I want to contribute to your show.
All right, please do.
Well, it would have been better if we don't have a state of origin. It would have united us more. But when you look at it in the other way around, this country, we don't have a good data system.
All right.
If someone, for instance, is employed somewhere and you don't have state of origin, they eventually commit a fraud. There can be no trace.
All right.
Such a person.
All right.
So it's only going to be good if we have a good data system that contains the profile of individuals in this country, so that in case of eventuality, the person can easily be traced.
All right.
Because in this country, if you have somebody's picture on the television, it cannot be identified anywhere, wherever it comes from. You cannot really get it. So it's good for us to have a good data system before we do away with state of origin. Otherwise,
all right, but don't you think the reason why we don't have a good data system or data system, and that's the correct pronunciation, by the way, why we don't have a good data system is because we keep dividing ourselves, and so when we divide ourselves and we don't want people to know the truth, we begin to hide the right statistics. So for example, we hide statistics about population, or we refuse to do population census. We hide statistics about various things just because we want to use it to gain dominance, or we want to use it for certain political statements. So don't you think maybe if we have this state of origin being scrapped, where everybody begins to do things on merit, then because it's done on merit, we would have the right data system?
Well, that will not give us a good data system. The thing is, it now boils down to sincerity of the system we are operating.
All right.
Once we have a good data system, wherever you come from, it will be traced.
All right.
Even if we are now putting it in our documents and all that, but let it be that we have a good data system that can trace individual to his home, where he comes from, eventuality. Then probably in your official documents, you might do away with it.
See, like I said, if you want to do this thing, you can do it. For example, do you know that through your financial statement or financial account, your bank account, we can trace you in Nigeria? Do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if it wants to be done, like I said, once again, it has to do with what do you call it? It has to do with the sincerity of the system, and the sincerity of the system boils down to whether this state of origin should be there or not.
Okay, that is another.
Anyways, thank you very much for calling in. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
That is Abu Cheers from Roma Hall.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. The issue is that we need to reorientate our people. Because this is a very big challenge in this nation.
All right.
For me, I don't care if an Hausa man will rule us 100 years, a man 200 years, a man 300 years. What is Nigeria developing? If Nigeria developing, it's developing for everybody.
Exactly, but that's the point I'm trying to make.
The issue is that I just keep on saying it. There are some people that have the mentality that my people must be here. Whether anything is moving forward or not, they don't care. Just as my people are here. We need a serious reorientation in that particular aspect.
All right.
And the point that keep on discouraging this issue is like presently as what we have now in the presidency. To my own knowledge, it is going one-sided, and the round goal is not put in the rightful direction. So now we are bringing any kind of people just because this is the people I trust, this is the people I know, and you do them. And I will keep on moving backward instead of forward. I really think that we need to change. It doesn't mean that there's no northerner that will come, that will have the mentality of Nigeria, developing Nigeria. They are there. But how do we select them? Well, we need total overhauling for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling in. And that's the last call. That's the last call for the Saturday morning show. Thank every one of you who have contributed. Thank every one of you who have joined this contribution. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. But we could do this again next week Saturday. But until then, keep listening to Today 95.1 FM. I've got the world news. I'm bringing the world news your way. My 12. Stay tuned. Thank you. I'm Canada.
South Sound, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good afternoon. This is the World News at 12 on your premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Kala Dakaru. The headlines. A Rivers State Governor Yesamike solicits support of British government in development of State Neighborhood Safety Corps agency. Suspected sea pirates strike again along Bile Port Harcourt waterways, diverting speedboats and valuables belonging to passengers. Independent National Electoral Commission expresses concern over judgment of Federal High Court ordering it to issue certificate of return to former Governor Roger Sokorocha. On the foreign scene, Sudan arrests opposition leaders after mediation efforts. Now, the details. River State Governor Ezenwa-Wike has solicited the support of the British government in the development of the State Neighborhood Safety Corps agency. This was revealed in a statement released by the Special Assistant to the Governor on Electronic Media, Simon Nwakudu, made available to newsmen. According to the statement, the governor, while speaking during a courtesy visit by the United Kingdom Department for International Development team in the Niger Delta at the Government House, Port Harcourt, said that the state requires training support for the Neighborhood Safety Corps agency operatives, stating that the Neighborhood Safety Corps agency was established to help the security agencies with critical information which will help them meet crimes, and the board is stressed the need for assistance in provision of necessary security training aids for operatives of the Neighborhood Safety Corps agency. We urged the British government to partner with the River State government in the area of agricultural development, even as he added that the state government is interested in vocational training and skills acquisition for Rivers youths. The governor also noted that other areas that the River State government will partner with the British government include teacher training for basic and senior secondary schools and environmental sanitation. Earlier, the conflict advisor of United Kingdom Department for International Development team in the Niger Delta, Charlotte Neal, said that the British government is interested in knowing the critical areas of need in River State for partnership. She further revealed that the United Kingdom Department for International Development wants to understand the priorities of the River State government for the development of the state. Suspected sea pirates have struck again along Billy Port Harcourt waterways, diverting speedboats and valuables belonging to passengers of the boats. Our correspondent gathered that the sea pirates attacked their target at the entrance to the big river in the area and went away with the boat and valuables belonging to the passengers. One of the rescue victims, David Elisha, who confirmed the attack to our correspondent, Uchen Dwejawa, said they managed to call the Billy Port Harcourt waterway just as he called on River State government and security agencies to urgently intervene.
The passengers' boats we left Billy for Port Harcourt. We were approaching the New Calabar River when we saw a black boat chased us. We later identified 6 armed persons with civil defense uniform. They shoot at us. We encourage ourselves and the driver. Maneuver at the shore, we jumped down and ran to the mangrove. Thank God no life was lost, but they went away with the boat and all our belongings. We begin to make contact after they have left with the boat. Some of us that had small phone, they were able to get network. We begin to make contact to Port Harcourt and Billy. We finally got contact, and it took over 1 hour 30 minutes for rescue team to come.
Police personnel attached to Rumokoro Division headquarters have intervened in a clash between a contractor at the Obiakpo Local Government Council and some individuals who are suspected to be officials of the council. Our correspondent gathered that Paul Egonu, who claimed to have supplied goods to authorities of the council, was brutally wounded yesterday when he allegedly went to demand for his payment. Egonu, who spoke to our correspondent after regaining consciousness at the police clinic in Port Harcourt town, told our correspondent that he was beaten up at the Obiakpo Council premises. Egonu called on Governor Nyesom Wike and security agencies to intervene and ensure justice takes its course.
My mission of coming here is so that they can pay me the money they have been owing me since last year, July. In getting here this afternoon to see him, came and pushed me out of his corridor leading to the staircase. They asked me to leave that environment, and I tried to explain myself to them. In the course of explaining myself to them, I don't know his name, but I was able to know that he is the chief of staff, Solomon Eke. Came into the matter and was like, question, what is happening? What is happening? They were able to tell him what he did now was to push me and push me. 6 other guys joined him and begin to beat me up. I lost conscience, and when I regained myself, I saw that chairman was standing. In order to approach chairman, one of them pushed me down again before chairman asked them to stop.
The authorities of Obiakpo local government are yet to react to the allegations, but the senior police officer attached to Rumokoro Division told our correspondent the parties will be invited for settlement. The controversy rocking the traditional stool of Alakaya community in Obiakpo local government area of River State appears to have deepened with the emergence of a new paramount ruler. Our correspondent Uchen Dwejawa reports that some people who are loyal to Eze Daniel Dodo, who was recently coronated, had stormed the community town hall to oppose the new traditional means of selecting a traditional ruler, but were resisted by members of the 4 families that make up Alakaya. The tension attracted the attention of security operatives who shot sporadically into the air to calm the situation. Thereafter, the native doctor, after consultations, named Vincent Igwe as the rightful Inyewe Ali Alakaya community before the community members and delegates from Apo Council of Chiefs and Youths. The newly named paramount ruler of Alakaya is a Vincent Igwe who addressed newsmen at the scene of the incident, expressed happiness over the process that brought him as the paramount ruler and promised to work for the interest of the community.
For almost 6 months now, we have been dragging this in. Somebody wants to by force it. The door that proved itself today. You can see the gladness in the whole community that this is real. We have been in court for several times before the court appeal, flash it and squash their order and tell us to come and do the normal thing as Ikwere used to do. Today, I've emerged as Nyewe Alakaya. So it's not my own choice alone. It's their choice. And I told them that I will serve them. Whatever is lost before, I'll find them. I will make this community to move.
Some elders, including delegates from Akpo Council of Chiefs, said the process was the traditional means of selecting traditional rulers in Akpo Kingdom including Alakaya community.
We don't appoint or elect a royal highness. It is the oracle that say for our kingdom. So today is the day after the death of the former one. So we are now to get a new king. That is what we have gotten today. Chief Vincent. His Royal Highness Chief Vincent Igwe Opula the 11th.
This thing they are doing today is part of our tradition and our kingdom. Exactly what happens today is what everybody was expected to happen. And as it happened like this, everybody is enjoying, happy, both the youth, both the young, and the others. And my message for the young one today is that let me carry everybody in mind.
Some youths, including the youth leader of Alakaya community, Aniele Nobuldike, commended the process and asked anyone who may be aggrieved to embrace peace and work with the new Inyewe Ali Alakaya for the interest of peace and development.
Today, we have witnessed the installation of the primary ruler of Alakaya being Vincent Amade. Today, you can see the jubilation in Alakaya today. The youth are very happy and we are in support of what has happened here today. Today is a very peaceful in our community because of what has happened. There's no disruption, no matter how some other people try to intervene. But God has done it for us. Today we have a primary ruler. We've known Alakaya to be a very peaceful community, but since a group of persons hijacked the chieftaincy, we have been noticing and recording some sort of coerce, some sort of problems in the community. And this is what we have been praying for, the women, the youth, the elders. And today, that which we have prayed for have taken place. We are happy that the gods of our land have chosen Vincent to be the rightful Nyewe Ali Alakaya today.
Our correspondent reports that security operatives have remained in the area to forestall breakdown of law and order. The Public Complaints Commission has called on National Emergency Management Agency, state and local government authorities in Rivers State to be proactive in the issues and management of the impeding flooding in the state. The Federal Commissioner, Public Complaints Commission Marshal Israel, made the call when he led officials of the commission on a visit to the office of NEMA in Port Harcourt, saying that the agency must wake up to tackle the issue of flood. Israel, while expressing concern over the experience of Rivers people during last year's rainy season, stressed the need for government and multinational companies to join hand in responding to victims of flood disaster. The Federal Commissioner, BCC, in the state also expressed commitment to deploy some of their staff for effective intervention throughout the rainy season.
Apart from our constitutional mandate, which includes investigating and addressing administrative injustice in all strata of government, we have a mandate to call agencies concerned to intervene on a particular issue. And you will agree with me that we are approaching the season of flood. Already people are being affected. The essence of our visit today, we want to call NEMA to wake up, to know their level of preparedness. You know, when people go homeless as a result of flood, they will need relief materials, they will need shelter, they will need clothing, they will need medical facilities. So how ready is NEMA? That's why we are here to let them know that they need to wake up and get ready for the job. Ready to send some of our staff to work with them if they are short of staff. And you need to be proactive in responding to the victims of flood.
In his response, the Zonal Director of NEMA, Walseni Braddon, said the agency have concluded plans to visit the 23 local government area to sensitize residents on the preventive and protective measures of flood, just as he called the local government authority for urgent intervention. Brandon, who also expressed fears that this year's flooding may be worse than last year, called on residents who are usually affected by flooding in the zone to identify high ground and comply with emergency procedures.
The advice is, number one, everybody should get prepared. Everybody, if you are living in a flood-prone area, you get prepared. What is the meaning of that preparedness? Preparedness is for you to know that this thing will come. And then, if you want to stay, get things that will help you to stay there. Our advice is for people affected to move away from those places to identified areas, we call them IDP camps. Stay there temporarily. When the floods are over, you come back there. Like as I mentioned earlier, we have identified those areas already, the high-risk areas already, and we are going to those areas, sensitizing them. And, it is not only the federal government that people should look up to. Emergencies affect everybody, and then we call on the state government and as well as the local governments.
Correspondent Uchendia Jowo reports that the NEMA Zonal Director named Ogba Egbema Indani out the West and East, Akakotaru, Asari Taru, Opobo Inkoro, Oyibo, Okrika, Gokana, Port Harcourt City, Obiakpo, Eche, and the local governments as the worst hit of the flooding where attention is needed. Still on World Environment Week, environmentalists in Port Harcourt have advocated for better funding for the National Environmental Standard and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA, to tackle air pollution. The environmentalists who made the call in an event in Port Harcourt identified air pollution as a silent killer slowly destroying humans, animals and plants. Speaking to our correspondent, Alfred Alarichi, at the sideline of the event, the director of the Institute of Natural Resources, Environment and Sustainable Development at the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Ben Induku, who was also a guest lecturer, advocated for better funding for NESRA to tackle air pollution, which, according to him, has badly affected our climate.
We are all facing the issues of climate change and global warming, acidification. If you know what acid rain has done for us in this region, there's a study we are carrying out now, and you see the pH of all the soils in that region. I won't want to mention it, because it can frighten the communities. All the soils we made there, they were all acidic. So when the oxides go into the air and comes in contact with rain, the community are taking acidified water. This growing our crops in an acidified soil. I mean, we can't imagine the cost. Necessary to go to work. They should go to work, and in going to that work, let them be well funded by the government.
Also speaking, the convener of the event, Sam Obiejele, frowned at the level of environment issues. I beg your pardon. Also speaking, the convener of the event, Sam Obiejele, frowned at the level of environment issues and neglected, adding that climate is changing faster, which portends danger if nothing is done.
We've been taking these environment issues not serious by this country. When you have people littering the West all over, when industries emitting pollution into the air, to the atmosphere, and nobody is worried. It is really dangerous because it's when these are emitted into the air that we start feeling the climate change. During the lecture, the prof was saying something about when gas sent into the air and then they mix up with the cloud and then covered, it takes up heat. So there was the situation of ice melt. These are the things that help us to keep the weather normal for the body. But to be taking these things not serious.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan has emerged as the chairperson of the newly inaugurated International Summit Council for Peace. The International Summit Council for Peace is a body made up of mainly African former presidents and ex-heads of state. Speaking at a two-day conference tagged Africa Summit and Leaders Conference 2019, where he was announced the new chairperson, Jonathan, in a keynote speech titled "The Need for Good Governance and Peaceful Electioneering Process in Africa," urged the African Union to set minimum acceptable standards for appointing the leadership of electoral commissions as a means of building citizen confidence and ensuring credibility of elections on the continent. He also noted that the credibility and legitimacy of electoral processes are usually dependent on the competence, impartiality, and independence of electoral management bodies. In attendance at the conference were government officials from African heads of state, clergy, and traditional rulers from across Africa. However, the Independent National Electoral Commission has expressed concern over the judgment of the Federal High Court ordering it to issue a certificate of return to former Governor Rochas Okorocha as Senator-elect for Imo West. This was contained in a statement by INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye. The Commission expressing concern at a situation whereby politicians resort to crude tactics to be returned, elected, and consequently go ahead to procure a favorable court judgment, further revealed that it would soon meet to deliberate on the order of the court with a view to doing the needful. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
You're still listening to the World News at 12 on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. Operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS, and the police are currently laying siege to the head office of DAC Communications in Asokoro, Abuja. The Group Managing Director of DAC Communications, Tony Akiotu, said heavily armed security operatives gathered around the station premises earlier. This follows less than 12 hours after AIT and Ray Power FM went back on air following a court order. Recall that the National Broadcasting Commission had shut the stations on Thursday over what they described as breach of broadcasting rules. But yesterday, Justice Inyang Eko of a federal high court in Abuja ordered reopening of the stations. He also summoned NBC and the Ministry of Information to explain why the motion challenging the commission should not be granted. The Kano State Police Command has banned any form of rally, demonstration, procession, or assembly in the state until further notice. The directive was contained in a statement by the command's public relations officer, Abdullahi Aruna. Aruna also said the command had withdrawn permission given to members of the public, civil society organizations, political parties, NGOs, and other groups. The order might not be unconnected to the tension generated following the query issued to the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi, by the state government. It could be recalled that the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission had recommended the suspension of the Emir, saying it discovered during investigation that the Emir had misspent 3.4 billion naira misappropriated between 2014 and 2017. Aruna also explained that the action became necessary to prevent any threat, breach of the peace, or breakdown of law and order in the face of various security challenges in the state. He warned that any person or group of persons found engaging in any unlawful assembly would be arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the laws of the land. Former Vice President and People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2019 election, Atiku Abubakar, has said the closure of the African Independent Television, AIT, and Ray Power FM, owned by the dark group by the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, NBC, as a reminder of the dark days of military dictatorship. He particularly compared it to Decree 4, which stifled press freedom in the country at the time. Atiku, in a statement signed by his media advisor Paul Ibe, however, warned that the suspension of the licenses of the dark group and shutting down of its stations revealed the dangerous dark anti-media agenda allegedly by the government of the day. Stressing that the hostility of the incumbent administration to press freedom portend danger to the nation's democracy, he further added that if the press is not free, the situation will inevitably lead to dictatorship and erodes democratic gains recorded in the past few years. The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation has taken over the case of alleged 25 billion naira fraud filed against former Gombe State Governor Danjuma Goje from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. When the case came up for an emergency hearing before Justice Quadri, the FCC counsel Wahab Shitu notified the court that the agency was withdrawing from the case and handing it over to the Office of the Attorney General for continuation. The counsel from the Office of the Attorney General, Pius Asika, announced his appearance for the case and applied for an adjournment to enable him to prepare for the case proper. Justice Quadri consequently adjoined the case to June 21, 2019 for continuation of hearing. Ibom Air, owned by Akwa Ibom government, has carried out its maiden flight from Uyo to Ikeja in Lagos State. According to reports, the airline's aircraft, which took off from the Obong Victor Atta International Airport in Uyo, landed at the Murtala Mohammed Airport 2 in Lagos and was welcomed with water cannon salutation by officers of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria Fire Services. Governor Udom Emmanuel, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Moses Ekpo, said the airline was a project designed to enhance the economy and create employment opportunities for Nigerians, adding that the project was a statement to the vision of rapid industrialization based on 3 gateways of land, sea, and air into the state. He, however, called on all Akwa Ibom indigenes to support the project regardless of their political affiliations. On the foreign scene, Sudanese security forces have arrested 2 opposition leaders shortly after they met with Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed during reconciliation talks in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. Abiy, who has emerged as a key regional leader, met representatives of both sides on Friday in a bid to revive talks between Sudan's ruling generals and protest leaders after the military launched a brutal crackdown on protesters that killed dozens of people this week. Among the protest movement delegates he met were opposition politician Mohamed Esmat and a leader of the rebel Sudan People's Liberation Movement North, SPLM, and Ismail Jalab. Nigeria will take on Zimbabwe at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, Delta State today in a pre-2019 Africa Cup of Nations friendly, seeking their 5th win against the Warriors. The 3-time African champions have won all 4 of their last encounters against Zimbabwe, conceding just 1 goal and scoring 11 goals. Gernot Rohr's team are coming into the game off the back of a rare win of positivity, having beaten Egypt 1-0 in March with a second-string team. And now to end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has solicited the support of the British government in development of the state neighborhood safety corps agency. Suspected sea pirates have struck again along Bile Port Harcourt waterways, diverting speedboats and valuables belonging to passengers. The Independent National Electoral Commission has expressed concern over the judgment of the Federal High Court ordering it to issue certificate of return to former Governor Rocha Sokorocha. On the foreign scene, we told you that Sudan has arrested the opposition leaders after mediation efforts. That was the news as edited by Emmanuel Okoro. For comments and inquiries, please call 0815-341-8657 or 0814-434-3502 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Kala Dakaru Batubo. Thank you for listening and do have yourself a wonderful afternoon. And of course, stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Today FM at 6. Yay! Thank you, Productions, for opening your hearts to Today 95.1 FM.
Without you, there is no us. 6 years of giving you a voice, 6 years of non-stop quality broadcasting, 6 years of great talk, news, mind-blowing sports and entertainment.
The most beautiful things are not associated with money. They are memories and moments we share.
Today, we have the courage to celebrate because of you, and you.
As you share in our celebration, we wish you all the joy that never ends.
It's no longer news that we are the voice of the people. We work hard, so we have to party hard.
Come on. Oh yeah, nah. Come on. Let's go.
The storm is over. Storm is over. There are leaders who are sure but do not have capacity. There are few who have capacity but are not sure. There are many more yet who do not have capacity and are equally unsure. Today, I congratulate a leader with capacity who is equally sure. A leader who says he will do and matches his words with action. The people's governor. I congratulate His Excellency, the very distinguished and sure Executive Governor of Rivers State, Chief Nyesom Wike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa, and his very elegant and indefatigable Deputy Governor, Dr. Mrs. Palbohari Banigo, DSSSRS, for a successful election, swearing-in ceremony, and extremely impactful tenure as Governor and Deputy Governor of my state. Yes, my state, Rivers State, for the next 4 years of your second tenure. I am indeed very proud of what both of you, together with the People's Chairman, Bro Felix Obua, represents, particularly for the youth and children yet unborn in this region and Nigeria as a whole. I equally congratulate the most distinguished Senator Magnus Abe, Dr. Dakoko Peterside, the very suave and debonair Chief Dumolulu Briggs, and the Right Honorable Performing Minister Chibike Rotimi Amechi. Indeed, the bigger picture makes all of you winners, and as actors with the understanding that we are guided by the script of life written by nature, we must learn to surrender to the ultimate director in nature and fate. Congratulations to our governor. Congratulations to us all. This message was made possible by friends of Andy Akwative, a social reformer, nation builder, public affairs commentator, and author of the Amazon best-selling book Unveiled: How to Run a Profitable Hospital Business in Nigeria.
NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited presents Investors Breakfast Meeting. The date, 15th June 2019, time 8 a.m. The venue, Aztec Arkham Event Center, 77 Ken Sarawiwa Road, formerly Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. And this is powered by NBA Forex, supported by AFX Group and Finitech Global Markets. Visit www.mbaforex.org for more information or call 0808-595-3225 or 0816-295-3970. NBA Forex, your journey to financial freedom.
See this life, me I know like trouble, look. One man thing is another